Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is Yarn Talk episode 63. If you are new to the Yarn Talk series, Yarn Talk is generally a weekly crochet, knitting, occasionally loom knitting and other fibery related things podcast, guaranteed to give you your recommended dose of fiber arts in 60 minutes or less. If you feel that your fiber intake may be lower than the recommended dosage, it may be in your best interest to subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss any of the awesome projects like these, guaranteed to keep your hands and your heart full. I wasn't planning on filming a Yarn Talk today. It is Thursday, whatever the date this Thursday is, I have no idea. And I just put up the tutorial for what I call the easiest fingerless mitts ever. But I received a package today that I will get to towards the end, and I felt like I needed to open it on camera so that you guys could see it. So I have, it seems like a lot of finished things, but most of them are small, so it's not really that much stuff. And I only have one active work in progress that is actually a new thing. Well, two I guess, but one of them I haven't really done much on in the last few days, so there's really no point in showing it. Anyway, so the first thing that I have finally done, I'm going to pop up a picture of it because it is entirely too hot to be wearing it right now, even though today is a relatively cool day. I finally finished my His and Hers outdoor sweater. It was done in the Deborah Norville, now I believe it's just called Premier Everyday Yarn in the lava colorway. Hi, buddy.
Dan.
You're Killian, and you've got Play-Doh. Yep, can you take that to the table? So it
Candy.
doesn't... Oh, it's pretend candy. Cool. Can you take it to the table?
Candy.
Cool. Take it down there so it doesn't get all over the carpet, sweetie. Thank you, thank you. And the arms do fit me. The neck turned out nice. I could have gone through and added in a few more rows vertically in the stomach, in the seam along the abdomen to make it fit. And I don't feel like doing it. So once I lose, like, honestly, really only about 5 pounds, it's gonna fit just right, because I really like the way it fits here, and it goes by the biggest measurement of your bust. So I want it to look nice there and not be baggy. But I really like the way that turned out. It was an awesome pattern. It is a free pattern. I will link to it in the description box below the video. So that is my big make that's finished. I have a few other things done, but they are mostly, like I said, smallish things. So even though it seems like I have a lot done, they didn't really take that long for the most part. So if it seems like I'm squinting a lot, aside from the fact that the sun's right in my face, I have a migraine right now that I feel like it could probably drop a normal person who isn't used to chronic headaches. Yeah, it's super, super fun. And I've already tried everything, you know, caffeine, a little more food, a little more water. Finally caved and took to Excedrin about half an hour ago. Hasn't kicked in. Don't know if it's going to. Fingers crossed that it does. So, things that I have done. I'm going to show these first. I have 2 of the Zero Levies pieced together. Yay! Only 8 more to go. And I may end up doing some craft stalls this summer. I may have actually found a group of people who specialize in sort of dark, gothy themed handmade items. They don't do direct seller booths, which is really annoying to me that more and more craft sales are just people hawking multiple level marketing things. not cool. One of the other things that I have is the pair of gloves that I made in my tutorial video. And these are more woman-sized fingerless gloves, and these ones are also done in the same yarn, which was Loops and Threads Impeccable in the Rainbow Bright colorway. It's just half double crochet, and I actually have a tutorial video for it now, and they're really seriously so easy that when you see how they're made, you're gonna go, why didn't I think of that? Super, super easy. So check out the video if you're interested. I didn't bother writing up a pattern because it's really seriously that simple. One of the other two things that I have is a mini, ultra tiny amigurumi octopus. This is significantly smaller than the ones I normally do. This is the super mini size that I really just took the regular pattern and modified it to shrink the quantity of stitches. Still do it exactly the same way. And I made this one look albino. It's white with red eyes. So if you follow the pattern, which is a free pattern for this, and you only do, I think, a few of the increases, I can't remember how many. I wrote it down so that I wouldn't forget what I did so I could make them the same size, but I'm planning to make a whole bunch this size to have on hand in case I do get into a few market stalls this summer. And I'm keeping white stuff in a bag like this so that my kids with their grubby fingers do not get them all dirty inadvertently, because my kids wouldn't do that with malicious intent, but it could still happen on accident. Get those put in here. So the only other thing that I have done is, well, I guess this isn't even really complete because I have more detail to add to it. But much like the kitty that I made for Killian, this is made from the Creepy Cutie Doll pattern, I think is what it was called. And I just made little roundish ears to make it look more like a bear. But I'm planning to put some stitchy details on here so it looks like a voodoo doll. And this is made with the same rainbow yarn. It's going to be rainbow stuff all month long until I'm out of rainbow yarn, guys. So hope nobody minds. But the way that the arms are made on this, there isn't any sort of structure underneath. It doesn't have chenille stems or anything, but it's only a few stitches around, so it's fairly stiff and flexible, so it's kind of posable a little bit. So yeah, there's that. I want to make a whole bunch of things like this with different sort of details to have on hand. That is all the things I have done. Like I said, just a couple of little things. It seems like a lot, but it really, I feel like I haven't gotten anything done this week. In fact, I really haven't gotten much done at all in the past few days because my kids have been terrors, to put it lightly. So, the other thing I've got... Oh, I actually totally forgot about that. The only other thing that I've got that I've been working on, it's actually a Getsu shawl, which is my own pattern. There's a free video tutorial, and if you're so inclined, there's also a written pattern, which you can pay a couple of bucks for. But from what I hear, the video tutorial is clear enough that you don't have to buy the pattern. But, you know, a couple bucks here and there is always nice and always helps. I am almost done with the second repeat right now, and I'm doing this with Shawl and a Ball. Before they turned it into Shawl and a Cake, and I think it's hilarious that they say that this yarn is a medium worsted weight yarn. Oh. This is like a sock weight yarn, maybe a 2. And I haven't run into the problem some people mentioned about it having weird chunk bits in it. I have had some parts where it's a little bit thicker and it's kind of weirdly fuzzy, but it hasn't really been slub yarn, as some people call it. But this is the Moonstone colorway. If you can even see that at all with the way the light's being, I don't know. Yeah, kinda. But it's blue, white, red, and there's actually some kind of pinkish colors in there. I wasn't expecting it to be this pink when I saw it online and purchased it, but this is what it's looking like so far. I want to have a few of these on hand again for stalls for the summer, and if they happen to sell, awesome. If they don't, then I will have them to put them in my shop after the shows are done. So that is the one big thing I have been working on. I have a few other things I plan to be working on, but I'm not quite to that point yet. So that stuff. I actually have a few acquisitions this week, but they're not yarn. A lot of them are kind of craft stall related stuff and just general, I need this in my life. For instance, the tripod that the camera is sitting on right now is a new one because when I went to film the tutorial like Friday or Saturday this past weekend, I can't remember when it was. It had to be maybe Saturday or Sunday maybe because my husband was home and had taken the kids out of the house, so it must have been one of those. Anyway, I went to adjust the camera so that it was facing down over what I was doing, and the part that adjusts the angle of the camera stripped the threading on it so it would no longer lock into place. So the camera was just kind of fell all the way down and wouldn't move anywhere, and it was, yeah, really frustrating and annoying. Luckily, I have one of those little Gorilla Pod twisty tripod things that you can allegedly attach to things. I don't know if I would put my very expensive Canon Rebel T6i sitting on top of just a random object, even if it was clung to it with those arms. I don't know if I would trust it, but it worked well enough to film the tutorial. The angle to me is a little bit more off than I would like it to be, but I feel like the instructions were so simple it's not a super big deal. But I got a new tripod. It was fairly pricey, but yay business expense for taxes. Do kind of need it to be able to film, so whatever. Other things, I actually got two of these. These are little wire baskets. You'll see that they have the little loopy parts. These are actually going to go into my grid walls that I got last year that I only got to use at one show. So most of the spaces I'm looking at for the summer are 10 by 10 spaces outside, and that will fit within the tent that I have, the canopy that I have, and I'll be able to set up the walls, the grid walls, and also several tables, and have more than enough space to put all my stuff instead of having to cram it all into one tiny little space, which will be great. These were fairly inexpensive. I got them on Amazon. I want to say it was maybe 12 or 15 for two this size. Does it say on here? No. But they did have other sizes available. They had a smaller one and they had a much larger one, but this seemed just right for me. I thought this would be good for little things that kind of can stand on their own, but that wouldn't really stand up on their own on a table without having to prop them up. I can just kind of set them all in here and people can just toss them back in if they decide they don't want them, and it won't make a big mess of everything else on the table. So got those. Other things that I got, speaking of craft stall things, I got a bag of 100 key rings that also have a little chain attached to them, and it has a jump ring on the end of it. I want to say it was maybe $8 for this pack of 100 of them, and I'm an Amazon Prime member, so I didn't have to pay anything extra for shipping, and this was here in like 2 days. But yeah, there's 100 key rings in there. Right now, I've been going through my boards on Pinterest, looking for things that are super small to make for keychains, and I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pattern for the F-bomb, and I'm going to do the same deal like I did with the little micro octopus I just showed you, and I'm going to decrease the size of it so that it's maybe bouncy ball sized-ish. Instead of it being handheld size, it's going to be super tiny and attach it to a key ring. Other thing that I got, which I didn't really need because I do still have some safety eyes, but I don't have that many. I got this giant bag of 600, is it? Yeah, 600 6mm just plain black safety eyes with the backings. This was super, super cheap. I want to say it was less than $10 for this. So if you don't have a problem with the smaller eyes, which a lot of the things I'm going to be making are going to be on the smaller side anyway, really good deal. And the last thing, which is what I'm super excited to crack into and wanted to wait to film to crack into, is I got this today. See, I was careful not to show the address. But Kendra from Hooked by Happenstance briefly had an option in her Etsy shop. It may even still be there, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure she said it was going to be a limited time sign up thing. But she's doing a 3-month sort of subscription package for, I want to say she called it something to the effect of Summer Blues Mystery Crochet Bag. You get a project bag and some other goodies, and when you sign up for it, you'll get 3 separate shipments. You only have to pay for it once, and for June, July, and August, you're gonna get a new bag with some extra stuff after just paying for it once. I'm excited to see what's in here. Killian, stop stuffing things in there, buddy, because I have no idea what all is gonna be in here. Ooh, so there's a little piece of paper in here that says that there's actually a secret video to go check out, which is going to be awesome. I'll have to check that out. And there's a cool little card here that's all summery. If you didn't know, aside from crochet stuff, Kendra, I don't think she does it as much, but she also makes cards, which is super neat. Now I've got everything out. See if I can do this quasi quick, and everything is all packaged up nicely. I don't think, like, if somebody else signed up for this, I don't think any of these are going to be the same. So if you also ordered one from her and haven't gotten it yet, this may be a spoiler alert, so don't look, I guess, just in case. Please be quiet. So this is a cute little stitch marker that is, I'm gonna see if I can get it to turn around here. There we go. Red, white, and blue stitch marker with a little heart on it. And all of these are very nicely wrapped up. Yeah, you've got Mommy's stitch marker right there in your hand, silly. So this is another card. Well, I think this might actually just be single-sided, not a card that opens. And it has a poem on it that is summery. And this looks like it's a little scrapbook. It says, "What I made on my summer vacation." And it has some cool scrapbooking type paper in here, which is pretty neat. And rather than getting the large bag, I actually got the one with the medium bags. Yes, hi sweetie, I see you. You will get the share in just a minute. So like most of her bags, it has the handle. And here on this little tag, it says Summer Blues 2018. And it has Hooked by Happenstance printed on it. It's a zippered bag. And this print is things in bottles, which is pretty cool. There's a little whale and a ship. Pretty awesome. The bags have a boxed bottom. This is going to be good for most of my projects that I do. Most of them don't take up much more space than this, so this is going to be perfect for me. So I'm going to be getting 3 that are this size. Yay! All right, so that is what I got. Those nifty, nifty things. And I've got some tissue paper that, because I am super, super cheap, I will be saving to pack up things as well. So that is all I have got for this episode of Yarn Talk. If you are in the Facebook group, you will be some of the people that are first to know whether or not I actually get into any market stalls this summer. I'm really hoping that I can, now that I found these people who do only handmade events, which, like I said, doesn't happen much here. I'm not sure how it is elsewhere, but 90% of church sales, anything of that sort, it's all just direct selling, which is so frustrating. Like, I get it, but if you're going there expecting to sell handmade things and 90% of the people who are attending are expecting to just buy things like Scentsy, Party Light, Mary Kay, Pampered Chef, nobody's gonna buy your stuff, which is frustrating to say the least. So that is all I have for this week. Like I said, if you're not in the Facebook group, you should definitely join it. Once I reach 200 members, I'm going to be doing some sort of a giveaway. I'm not quite sure what, but they get to see pictures and things, some of which I don't even put up on Instagram, so that you've got kind of a little more of a personal connection. You get to share links to patterns with other people, ask people for help with things, which is kind of difficult to do on YouTube. So it's a good way to hang out with people. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.